The Anatomy and Physiology of Eating a Burrito by Dante Che and Timmy Ennis. Thousands of people eat at Chipotle each day, but with the recent E. coli outbreak, we decided to make this video in the safety of my home. Let's take a look at each of the muscles used in the process of eating a burrito, along with their roles. Each movement consists of a prime mover, an antagonist, a synergist, and a fixator. Let's break down the video to more clearly see each movement. Sitting in this position, we can see that the hips are in flexion, or decreasing the angle at the joint to which it is attached to. The prime mover is the iliopsoas, the antagonist the gluteus maximus, the synergist the rectus femoris, and the fixator the rectus abdominis. Looking at the knees, they are now in flexion. The prime mover is the biceps femoris, the antagonist the quadriceps, the synergist the gastrocnemius, and the fixator the trunk stabilizers. Moving on to the elbows, they are in flexion as well. The prime mover is the brachialis, the antagonist the triceps, the synergists are both the brachioradialis and the biceps brachii, and the fixators are the sternoclavicular joint and the rotator cuff. The final movement seen in Act 1 is radial deviation. The prime mover is the abductor pollicis longus, the antagonist the extensor carpi ulnaris and flexor carpi ulnaris, the synergists are the flexor carpi radialis and the extensor carpi radialis, and finally the fixators are the pronators and supinators. Here in Act 2, we can see the hips and knees both in increased flexion, along with the feet now being in plantar flexion. The prime mover in plantar flexion is the gastrocnemius, the antagonist the tibialis anterior, the synergist the fibularis longus and brevis, and the fixators being the medial and lateral stabilizers of the knee. Moving up, we can now see the elbows in increased flexion, and radial deviation increased as well. As you can see, the neck is now in flexion. The prime mover is the sternocleidoid mastoid, the antagonist the upper fibers of the trapezius, the synergist the anterior scalene, and the fixator the platysma. Here in Act 4, the elbows are now in extension, the wrists now in ulna deviation, the neck is in extension, the hips in extension, the knees in extension, and the feet are no longer in plantar flexion. And that just about wraps up our video. So thank you for watching, we hope to see you soon.